Okay, let me check if everything is working for today's short live stream. I just want to give a little bit of an update today. Yes, everything is working. I see the first people joining in now, so that looks good. And then I will start discuss what I think is going to be important for tonight, because I must say I'm like super tired, but I'm seeing something very important in the market which we need to discuss because it's going to be happening tonight. And that is the weekly close for Bitcoin. Because in all of the update videos, guys, we have been discussing the 50 weekly moving average trend line, and that holding above is going to be absolutely critical. Every single time we broke below this level, we have seen a major wick, and not even once a weekly close below it this entire bull market. So that is why I think that this exact level is once again going to be very important. And today is Sunday, so this night basically, and of course Monday's opening, is going to confirm us a new weekly close. And now we are just holding above the 50 weekly here because we just saw a little bit of a pump. But just, it is like super and super close. Also, if you zoom in, you can see how close it currently actually is. It's absolutely insane. So this weekly close is going to decide a lot for us, and that's what I wanted to discuss also in today's short update, because this weekly close is going to determine, are we going to stay in a bull market or might we entering a bear market in the near future, because both are still an option. And definitely if we zoom out, that is what I wanted to show. Also, guys, amazing to see the first people dropping in once again. If you do have something, just drop it in the comments and I will just keep on giving my update. Because look at this. If we take a look into the Bitcoin all-time or just the all-time history chart, so all of the cycles, we can see that once we do break this important 50 weekly level, that is always the moment where we do enter major bear markets. We've seen it every single 4-year cycle. So that's why I think this is going to be such a pivotal level once again. Probably you've seen so and so many people talking about this level, but I think that is for a good reason. And I think tonight is going to give us a first idea of where this bull market is going to be heading next, or indeed are we going to experience a bear market. That's also a possibility, but what I also want to make clear is that I don't think if we are indeed going to see one weekly close below it, I definitely do not think that's going to be a good sign. I think it's a very bearish sign, but I do want to see 2 to 3 weekly closes to truly confirm it as a bear market, for example. So keep that in mind. I think as long as we are going to stay holding above it there, of course we are looking good. In that case, I'm also expecting a bounce, to be honest. If you're going to hold above this tonight, I think a bounce is going to be likely, and then my Bitcoin trade is in good position. Because a little update on my Bitcoin trading position, my limit orders are still open, nothing really different here. And yes, I am filled for about 50k now, and my limit orders will fill me up to 150k. But it is going to be the question: will my limit orders get filled? I do still think it's possible, but I don't want to see it happening tonight with the weekly close. Maybe next week. Let's see. But on both sides of the markets, I'm protected because I'm in my long position now. But I'm also going to be prepared for a possible move lower for Bitcoin. So yeah, on my Bitcoin trading position, not a lot of different stuff. My Ethereum position is now in somewhat of a bigger profit. Unfortunately, my limit orders remain open for Ethereum. I do think there's a possibility for Ethereum to drop ever so slightly lower because liquidity now needs to flow back into Bitcoin to make sure it holds above the 50 weekly moving average. Some liquidity could be flowing back, for example, and then Ethereum could maybe drop ever so slightly lower, but now we just reclaimed 3.5k, which is quite a big bounce actually. Quite insane to see. It is not loading now. But what I want to highlight, if you want to join me with my Ethereum position, for example, or a lot of other positions on LBank here, you can now claim an absolutely amazing bonus, a 50% deposit bonus, and a generous refund. And not only this, with the 2.5k deposit bonus and a generous refund up to 5k, but also this $100 bonus, which is absolutely amazing. So a lot of offers on LBank now. It will be expiring in about 2 days here. I'm trying to extend it for you guys, but I don't know for certain yet. So if you haven't claimed it so far and still want to claim those bonuses to start trading on LBank, make sure to come and check it out with the link in the description on this live stream. Make sure to come and check it out if you're getting interested in that. And then let me see what I want to discuss. Of course, also in the private VIP, I'm just keep on updating about everything I'm seeing in the markets. What I did find very interesting was the following for Bitcoin. Also, of course, today's video about the Bitfinex long positions, I won't discuss that in too much detail in this update because I think for that you can watch the update video. But what I do find very interesting, which I might not discussed too extensively in today's update video, is the following. Let me see if I posted this. There it is. The stablecoin supply ratio looks very interesting to me because we are now looking into the following Bitcoin levels, of course. Always the bounce on the moving average 50 trend line, and what we have seen in these times is also stablecoin supply ratio dropping to this exact support level. Coming back to the chart, let me see, where was it again? I can't see it anymore. This one. Let me quickly swipe it. You can see the comparison here with the Japan trade crash actually, then with the tariffs, and now the current moment we are seeing even bigger rotation back into stablecoins at the current moment. So that is quite insane, I must say. That is quite insane. So yet again another bottom signal hitting the market here. Yet again another bottom signal. So yeah, I think for now 50 weekly moving average is indeed a very important point. And yeah, we are going to get the close in a few hours, so I would say we could see some heightened volatility leading up into this close. I would say we keep on bouncing ever so slightly higher now, which does look good also for my trading position. 103.6k now almost. Let me also get a quick sip of water. But how are you guys doing today? Because the chat is very silent today. Maybe a lot of new viewers, I don't know. How are we doing? Let me see what else we have to discuss before the weekly close, because I do want to prepare you guys as best as I can. I think we discussed it this morning. I can show my Bitcoin options or also for my trading position. The scenarios I'm currently looking at for Bitcoin are the following. Let me clean the chart up a little bit. Look. For Bitcoin, I think a few things could happen from here. We are now in this orange zone, or we have been bouncing from this orange zone. That was also the zone where our first limit orders were placed for Bitcoin and where we got filled on 2 trading positions basically. I think from this level it's going to be likely that Bitcoin could see a bigger bounce. Then you have one big level in mind. That's the 116k level. I think a dead cat bounce is going to look somewhat of a bounce to that level before eventually heading lower, if that is going to be our first scenario. And if Bitcoin does find the strength, then we should be breaking the level, and we can still be making new all-time highs, because we do know that after breaking the 116k level, we always do see major all-time highs. But on the other hand, every single time we get rejected here, we have and see major drawdowns for Bitcoin. So both ways, it goes both ways. But I think these scenarios are still the most likely for me personally for Bitcoin. And I think both scenarios are going to be, of course, very good for a trading position. This green area here is basically the area where my new limit orders are laying. And possibly those limit orders will also get filled up in the near future. It's still possible. Let's see. What chance you give to close a full weekly below, coming to 93k Bitcoin and still coming to all-time high after? It is most definitely possible. I also have my limit order open at the 93k level, because I think it is somewhat of the support of this new range where then you're going to be trading in. But the thing with that is, it is going to be very different than what we have seen so far this bull market, because this entire bull market we've always seen, or we have never seen a weekly close under it. So it is going to be the first time. But that's why I'm saying I do want to see 2 to 3 weekly closes below the level to confirm it as a bull market. So your scenario is still possible, but it's definitely less likely than just confirming the weekly close above it, then maybe dropping ever so slightly lower, but just see those major wicks confirming it above, and then from there make a big bounce. So that's what I personally think for that. But yeah, all of this is going to get we will see all of this in the next 2-3 weeks here. So it is most definitely going to get very interesting. And I think just in general we have kind of a big week upcoming. Let me see if I missed some news, because I also think we have seen some news coming out today. A little bit more than usual, actually. Little bit more than usual. Because it's also just coming out that Trump announced that Americans will now receive at least a 2k dividend payment, excluding high income earners, which is quite interesting for the crypto market, I must say. Which is quite interesting. Some stuff about the US government shutdown. Of course, we are still in the shutdown now. Expected to be ending at the 20th of November now. So it keeps on extending basically, which is not looking very bullish. But like stated in this morning's update video, if we could get somewhat of a surprise deal, maybe it could turn as some bullish catalyst maybe. And yeah, let's see. This is going to be my Bitcoin scenario. We have 2 Bitcoin scenarios here. And I think Bitcoin is now also bouncing a little bit higher. Let me open a short-term chart. Different one. Let's look at the 5 minutes. Indeed, reversing. So now we are holding above the 50 weekly moving average here, which is most definitely a very good sign. Indeed, this little pump we are now seeing back up to these levels is looking very good, I must say. It's looking very good, because now we are holding quite clearly above it, I think. Yep, indeed. Let's see if we can close it like this. Let's see. We are going to get some volatility in the next few hours here. I am quite sure of that. Bitcoin trading position, let's see how it is going here. It's fine. It's going fine, but I think this position will have a lot more potential looking at the current Bitcoin scenarios here. I must say, because I just answered the question about this, if Bitcoin is now going to hold above and confirm the close, I don't see Bitcoin dropping much lower than, to be fair, in that scenario, because that would be very weird to see like two big bricks under the level. Yeah, it could be. I must say what we do see now, zooming in on this, is the last two times we saw the first wick and then second wick. First wick, second wick. So yeah, maybe it's still possible. But this was already quite a big wick we got here, of course, at the first major dump. So I don't necessarily think this is going to be the scenario once again. But let's see about exactly that. Let's see. I don't see a lot of questions coming in, so yeah, I'm just giving my thoughts, just a little update. I just want to make you guys aware of the fact of what's going to happen here and the significance of it, because I think it's going to be super important. What's the chance to fill the limit orders below? I think the chances are quite small, actually. I think the 98k level, I would give it like a 30% chance, and maybe 35, and 93 like a 10 15% chance, something like that, I would say. Not that much. I don't necessarily think Bitcoin is going to drop much lower, but you do need to protect yourself with some lower orders also, because just in case, yeah. Mm. And I would say also, if the bear market is over from here, I would say that Bitcoin is still likely to see that cat bounce, where we can be making some profits on. What about the limit orders? Limit orders are still open on Bitcoin and Ethereum. And for the people that do want to trade also from themselves, make sure to check out that bonus here on LBank. For the 50% deposit bonus, generous refund up to 5k, deposit bonus up to 2.5k. You can find the link in the description on the update video of under this live stream, actually. And also you can claim a $100 bonus / voucher there to start trading with. So, and what I do want to emphasize is that I always see there's so much more interest in the moves higher for Bitcoin. If we zoom out a little bit, in the periods like that, there is so much more interest in Bitcoin. But now, when we are actually seeing a big correction, of course, people do get scared. But this is indeed the moment where you do want to be opening trades, or you do want to be taking some risk, in my opinion. That's what I'm doing, of course, in no way a financial advisor. But this is where you want to turn bullish at support if you still believe in the bull market. And then if you can claim a bonus like this on LBank, I think this is going to be a good timing, good opportunity, because then you can might actually be making some profit on it, because you can have only a free trade. But on the other hand, if you're not going to make a profit on it, yeah, why even claim it? Um, what about Ondo? I'm not aware of the Ondo chart, to be fair, currently. I'm really focused on Bitcoin now, because for me, if Bitcoin is not going to hold here, doesn't even it doesn't even matter talking about Ondo, because Ondo is yeah, it's not going to look very good for altcoins if Bitcoin is just not going to hold here. Laurent, nice to have you. Nice to see you again. Long time no see. I think this is just a pivotal level, and we can be talking a lot about different altcoins now and all the scenarios, but Bitcoin just needs to hold. Otherwise, you might enter a bear market. Okay. Look at that. Bitcoin keeps on pumping higher. Price label. Look at that. About to hit 104k again. Let's see. Looks good. This is definitely what I wanted to see. Unfortunately, crypto mirrors too much of the USA stock market, where anything can happen. It does. 75% correlation. Not always, but it does. But I can remember during the last tariffs dip, the last crash basically, there was also a period where Bitcoin started to decouple from the US stock market. It's not always like that. But of course we are highly dependent on the US stock market, but most markets are. Most markets are. Mm-mm-mm. But I must say this pump is definitely looking very good. Just before the weekly close. This is what I was hoping for this morning, to be fair. To see something like this happening indeed somewhat later on the Sunday, and it is coming true now. Let me clean this up a little bit. Mm, boom, boom. Still holding above. Okay, and guys, make sure to drop your questions now because this is just like a short update, like I stated in the earlier stream. Also, it's not sort of a longer live stream. I just want to give an update on this level and where you should keep your eyes on. If you do have something now, make sure to drop it because then I can be looking into it. Also, next week I'm expecting to live stream a lot, so make sure to also put on the notification bell on the channel if you haven't done so. Subscribe, put on the notification bell so then you do know and you will know when I'm live again because I'm expecting to live stream a lot next week because I feel like it could become quite an important week. And now, of course, it is definitely scary trading at these levels, but also finally there's something happening again in the markets, which of course hasn't been the case too long. If Bitcoin closes above the 50 MA, well, then what we expect, then I would personally expect somewhat of a relief bounce from there. Yeah, then we have to see that at that current moment. But I think a close above it is going to be super bullish because every single time we've seen this, the close back above is after like a major correction. Here, boom. Yeah, if you're not going to count this one, but I would not count that one to be fair. This one, boom, boom. Always. Always a major bounce has followed. So maybe not a bounce directly to new all-time highs, but most definitely a bounce to mid-range highs, I would say, is possible. But the market is uncertain, so I would also not be surprised if we just dump lower from there to shake out all of the lost traders. But I think that scenario is a little bit less likely, to be honest. Little bit less likely. Little bit less likely. So let's see. We are all going to see this in the next few hours here. I will be stopping the live stream for now. I gave my update like I did want to do so. Keep your eyes on this level for this night. I think there's going to be some volatility, so be careful with your trading position also. Manage it accordingly. If you do want to claim some bonuses and start trading on L-Bank like I'm doing with my Ethereum position also, make sure to come over to the description on this live stream. I will quickly show it once again for the people that are new dropping in, because there you can now claim a 50% deposit, a $100 voucher, and a generous refund on your first trading position up to 5k, maximum 2.5k deposit bonus. So basically a lot. So make sure to come and check it out if you do want, or if you are interested in trading yourself. Do want to trade this opportunity because, like stated earlier, going back to the Bitcoin chart, this is where you do want to take your positions in at support, not at resistance. At support, that's where you want to take your positions, not at resistance. And now is indeed a very scary, but also, in my opinion, a good opportunity. And that's what I'm showing you with, for example, my Bitcoin trade and also my Ethereum trades. And what is the chance to fill Bitcoin orders at 100k and 101k? One of my orders has been getting filled at 100k. Once again, I think the chances of that are 50-50. Also within close above it because those levels are not away that much. Buy market makes will set market up to try to take your Christmas money for exit liquidity. Okay. Let's see. I think the most important thing now is just going to be the weekly close. So let's keep our eyes on this for this evening. And guys, then I wish all of you guys an absolutely amazing evening. Be careful with your trades. High volatility to be expected. I will keep my Bitcoin trade open. I will keep my Ethereum trade open. We'll stay trading on L-Bank. If you do want to claim that bonus, make sure to come to the description of the other video here. With this link, you can claim the bonus yourself. Let me check if it's working. Should be. Indeed. and the offer is still available for about 1 day here. So it's going to expire soon. So if you do want to claim it now, it is one of your last chances. No way financial advice, but yeah, just stating the facts. And guys, that was it for today's live stream. Just a small update, and then I will see you guys within tomorrow morning's update video. And there we will discuss tonight's weekly close, which I'm super excited for. Have a great evening, guys.